Now, the British Hollywood actor Jeremy Irons has been in Gloucester's Guildhall today because he doesn't think Gloucestershire should be building a waste incinerator. Mr Irons was invited by the Stroud-based environmental enterprise community R4C, who claimed that the infamous incinerator contract is unlawful and not in the taxpayers' best interest. Jeremy Irons also spoke to your reporter Steve Nibbs.
I think there's no doubt on health grounds it's extremely detrimental. Incinerators can't capture microfluorons. Microfluorons go into the atmosphere, they fall to earth, they are absorbed by the soil, they are re-eaten by the cattle, they come into the food chain, they come into our lungs as infinitesimal particles, they can get into the bloodstream. That bloodstream can get and transfer in the brain. They can get through the blood-brain barrier. I look around and I see, well, there's a lot more Alzheimer's than there used to be, there's a lot more allergies than there used to be. Why is this? It's because I believe the air we breathe and the food we eat. Incinerators are extremely detrimental to that. However, those arguments aren't planning concerns. So I'm very proud of this group, the fact that they've raised points, they've had judgments, court judgments, which show that the planning concerns have to be readdressed, that the council has behaved improperly by not being transparent. And indeed, when you look at the contract, it makes little financial sense. We're living in the 21st century. We live in a world of finite resources. We cannot make stuff, use it, and burn it. It makes no sense. We have to reuse it. We're in a world of limited resources. And you see all over the world this push to recycle. And to build a mammoth incinerator in this beautiful part of the world is, I believe, a step back. It could be seen almost as antediluvian. I'm sorry that some of the councillors are going to have to hear this from an actor. I know they'd like to hear it from an environmental expert. When making trash, I became a bit of an environmental expert. I suspect most councillors listen to businessmen.
There must be so many demands on your time. You've said, obviously, we know you're an actor and turning into an environmentalist, but what was it about this scheme that you wanted to lend your weight behind and this campaign particularly?
Well, I learned so strongly, so clearly when I was making trash, that incinerators are not the answer. And so whenever I hear of planning concerns and of local communities trying to stop incinerators, I like to come and just add a bit of weight, if that's what I do, a bit of profile. It's something I believe implicitly and so deeply in.
Jeremy Irons at the Guildhall this morning talking to Steve Nibbs. Well, Sue Oppenheimer is the director of R4C, who invited Mr Irons to join them in Gloucester today.
Well, it's going to cost over £500 million over the life of the contract if we go with it. We could save today by going and using capacity in alternative facilities at the price that they're offering today. We could save £4.7 million a year for taxpayers, which could be used for other things like education and social care.
Because of what you've discovered, you've now, or your experts have realised, potentially it does breach competition law as well.
It does, because it closes down the possibility of the new technology that's coming online for waste and the much better ways of recycling and reusing it. It closes down the possibility of them having a share in the market.
You talk about alternatives in the market. Obviously, one of them is your plan for an alternative plant. I mean, people would say, you would say all this, you would find these figures because it would benefit you eventually.
The figures are based on what's there today. What we're saying is that in today's market, with all the existing facilities available in counties surrounding Gloucestershire, you can get a much cheaper, better deal. And the environmental impact of building a new plant as opposed to making sure existing plants are going at full capacity, there's no debate. It's much, much better.
But the truth is, without the incinerator there, alternative plants as yours and others would benefit, wouldn't they?
Ultimately, we hope that waste will go to plants that actually deal with waste as a resource rather than burning it.